Hello guys, and welcome back to another highlights video. And here we're at Portugal for OTL Elite, and we start things off with a mixed conditions qualifying as we go onto the softs now for the final run, as it is really dried up, still quite wet track, but it's become dry enough for dry tyres. Well, we know the delta is coming down quite a rapid rate. It was going to be quicker than the inters come the end of the quali, so we're going to go into a final quali run, and our only run we could do on the soft with the last drive to start a lap. As we go through turn 1 and turn 2, it's still very tricky. As you touch the inside curb, it's like really unsettled the car. As we go through 3 and 4, it's a spun car, everyone's struggling about, but you can see 23.7 from Nelly proves that the dry tyres are really ramped up now. As we go through sector 1, we're about half a second plus up, and now we're a second plus up coming out of turn 5 as we go through 7 and 8. Really nervous about that corner, especially in these conditions on the tyres we're on. And there goes Smalley, just trying to avoid that, and we go through into the final sector now. Macho 23.0, and we were 1.9 seconds up here, and it was just carry on getting better and better as we go through the final sector here. We're getting it pretty much bang on where we want to be. As we go through the final corner, we're going to see another spinner, which is Ball Boy, and missed the tricky conditions, all the people spinning out. We managed to get pole position by over a second. If we didn't set a lap on the dries, I think we would have been P5, but track position is usually key around here, so pole position is pretty good, and getting the extra point as well. But we're going to get to the start of the race, everyone lining up on the grid, and everyone on the inters, I'm pretty sure all of them were on the medium tyres, all going in the direction of the alternate strategy. And then there's us on the softs. Of course, we're going to have to try the normal strategy around here to get in the top 10. So the lights are coming on, just try and get the best possible start, keep our lead into turn 1 as the lights go out. We got it pretty much bang on there. Machu had to tuck in behind us, he couldn't get the launch, so we go into turn 1, we keep our lead, and we don't really get attacked into turn 3, so we're pretty much safe, and we get a pretty nice exit out of turn 4, I'm pretty sure, and we get a pretty decent gap to start out the race, and we get about a second gap at the start. But Macho, albeit it was close to dropping out of the DRS, he keeps right with us all the way through as we build a 10-second gap on everyone behind on the alternate and the current strat. And we've got on lap 11, Macho, you see he goes into the pits, so we need a good in lap to try and protect over the undercut that Macho's going to try and do. So we come into the pits, going for the no-brainer medium tyre, and we're hoping we just about come out ahead of Macho. You see he's really close to a couple of cars ahead of him, so it would have been better if we got ahead of these two cars as well, but we just about come up behind, I think it's Charlie and Ranger on this lap, and as we come out, but we're ahead of Macho at least, just about, and he got close enough to almost challenge us into turn 3, but he didn't, luckily enough. So we held our own pretty well against the undercut. We're going to go a little bit further on into the lap, I think a couple of corners later, and we're going to get a run on Charlie here out of turn 8 into turn 9 and 10. It's a tricky little zone here, but you could get some really nice overtakes, and we're going to force ourselves up the inside, and we're going to take the position off Charlie. And next up is Ranger, but as you'll probably see behind the arrows, and Macho, he's getting the moves done quite fast as well, so I ain't completely safe yet. Next up is Ranger, and it was a pretty easy overtake, to be honest. We got the DRS and the ERS advantage. Ranger was flashing, it was a pretty big disadvantage for him as we went through, but essentially he had the DRS for the next straight, and he managed to keep Macho behind a little bit longer, and you see the gap's 1.6 seconds to catch up to Clarkey a couple of laps later, and I try and overtake him, but VSC, probably the worst possible time for a VSC to come out. I was about to make the overtake, but it's come to the end of the VSC. See if we could try and get Clarkey down this next straight, but he goes a little bit deep here, but then he pulls off to the right and lets us through, which made it a little bit easier. And now we're up to P6. We've got Brock is our next car ahead, our teammate, and Clarkey was holding Macho at bay for quite a bit. Macho getting through in the end there, but by the time he got through, we were about to get past Brock, and it was another easy move for us as he didn't really defend it on his alternate strategy. We move up to 5th, and we're going pretty well. We're only 10 seconds off the lead, but this was probably the worst thing that could possibly happen to my race. Bullet crashing out, and there you go, a full safety car at probably the perfect opportunity for the alternate strat runners there. So Connor and Smalley are going to get the free pit stop here. Same with Chris. F. Lewis is going to get held behind Chris, it looks like, in this pit stop. You see he backs off quite a bit, trying to limit his deficit in the pits, but it's not going to do him much as we're going to get out ahead of him. We're going to wait a little bit for the couple of cars ahead, but we come out in P5. We only lose 1 position to Nelly, who stayed out on the mediums, but in the end we lost out 4 positions. Of course, they were on the alternate strategy, having to do 1 less stop in the race so far. But there you see Chris AI hitting Nelly, gave Nelly a 5-second penalty, and he lost a position as well. So you see on this safety car restart, this probably defined the race a little bit. It's made my life a little bit easier to keep up with the top 2, but Chris was trying to let Nelly through. Nelly went through a little bit too early before the green flags came up, and he had to back off, and I just managed to get through both of them at the same time and go up to P3, and all I was focused on now is getting this win back in my hands, because this was a lost victory at this point for me. But we're on lap 26, Smalley making a move. We've got 8 laps to go to try and get past both of these guys, because surely Smalley might get a penalty removed. I don't know if he's picked up under a VSC/safety car, but we're going to try and push as hard as we can. And we're getting really close to Connor, and first lap Connor is at risk behind me. I'm going to absolutely send it, and I sent it a bit too much, hit the back of Smalley, but luckily enough didn't pick up any damage. I don't think I gave Smalley any damage, luckily enough as well. But we stay behind Connor for another lap, and we're going to try and push this time as well down the straight. Absolutely everything with our ERS, but Connor, it looks like he's got a little bit of an advantage over us in the straight line. He might have a more straight line tuned setup, but we go to lap 30. We've got 4 laps to go. We're running out of time at the moment, but we're going to send it once more into turn 5. This time we're going to send it very, very late. Connor, he goes a little bit deep. He had to go wide to avoid hitting the back of Smalley. He's going to keep alongside with us, but we're on the outside this time, and makes a little bit of contact. We keep side by side through turn 7 and turn 8, but we're going to have the outside line on the traction zone for turn 8, which is where we want to be. And we made the move finally stick on Connor to take P2, but still not done. There's 1 more overtake we needed to do, and we go 1 lap later onto lap 31. We're already attacking Smalley, even this early. I wanted to get this move done as quick as I can. I knew I had the pace against these guys, and couldn't get past Smalley there. Got nudged off a little bit wide from Smalley being on the inside, so we had to wait 1 more straight. And on lap 32, or the start of lap 32, be the move that would give me the race win. And yeah, Smalley couldn't defend this one. I had all the energy and the DRS. It was pretty simple move into turn 1, and going through this section was essential as well, because Smalley was still 3 tenths behind. There's a DRS zone right here, but I absolutely pushing the car in these final few laps, and I got a 5 tenth gap. I was pretty safe there, and I got the fastest lap in doing so. And I think the DRS gap broken, but that was a pretty good lap for us. And we come to the final couple of corners of the race. 8 tenths ahead of Connor using a bit in the final lap, got past Smalley in the end to take P2. But we're going to take home our 5th win of the season in OTL League, which was probably one of the best wins in my league career, to be honest. It was a win that was taken away from us, but we fought to the very end. We managed to take it back and get the dub. So thanks for watching, and until the next highlights video, goodbye.